right, welcome back to Master Guitar, blah, 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 blah. All right, we've got the last of our 4 unboxings today. As you can see, I've got the Mini Moog right there. Now loosen this up so I can turn it easily. I've got the Odyssey and the triple keyboard stand right there, so I should have 2 things in here if Andy put all those right stuff. Andy's pretty good at making sure everything gets packed up, so after all these years, there were certain synths that I wanted, which is really strange because, you know, if you've been following the channel, you know, maybe this is the first time and you just wanted to look up a review on this. But let's talk about that now. Remember, favorite knife, Walmart. Coffee cup with a Maine lobster mug on it. All right, so the next unboxing, and we'll explain this one as we go along. All right, so this one was more, you know, back in the day, you would write to companies and ask for a catalog, and sometimes they'd send you a little card back for $8.50. We will send you our 3-page color catalog, and so you'd send it and whatever. So I ordered at one point, you know, being somewhat of a Rush fan, somewhat of a Gary Newman fan. I don't know if somewhat is quite the word for that. And of course other rock bands. There was New England. New England was the reason that I really got into synthesizers, because, you know, you'd songs like Explorer Suite and stuff like that, you know, wow. So that made me want to play keys. And then of course before that was Rush and the song Xanadu, which I saw in Dan Kirshner's rock concert. So that made me want to be a bass player, synth player, and I was already a bass player in my band, so I wanted to, you know, so that made me get into the synth bug. So I wrote and asked for catalogs, and I got one from Korg. And I did extensive reviews on it before I did this order. So let's talk about the one I ended up getting, because I saw this one 1,000 times. But first, what else do we got? We got, oh, it's the Xenix mixer. This was originally, was this Midas originally put these out? The Xenix mixers, or was this Behringer? I don't know, but I needed a mixer because I needed some way to, this is of course the front end for my recording. You've actually got 8 channels. I guess this is shared, so you can, I don't know if you, how you would select that double bump. I'll read the instructions and we'll figure this out. So Xenix mixer is the first thing, so I'll set that aside and we'll unbox that in a second. And then this was the other one that I got. And I chose this one because this one actually has a slightly wider range than the original, because I watched plenty of side-to-side comparisons. Just my way to poke at Sweetwater, just a bit. Andy, you're great. Everything's wonderful. But this is the teeny tiny bag of candy that I got for spending $2,000 with you on one order. Come on, man. I was expecting a bag of candy in each one, but maybe I'm just being greedy. Okay, so anyway, before I go on this, I really want to say right now that I am incredibly thankful to own all of this. You have, gratitude goes a long way. And when you sit there and go, man, I can't believe I didn't get blah, 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 blah. Okay, you got it. You got this. You got, let's look at what I own. Let's look at what I got in this order. I got the Behringer K2, also known as the Korg MS-20 without the keyboard. But I'll just, you know, get an Arturia key step for that. I got a mixer, so I can plug this into my laptop or into my, you know, for performance points, I can plug this into my amplifier. So I can have guitar, I can have Mini Moog, 2600, the K2, Odyssey, Mini Moog. Right there. I mean, look at what I've got. I've got a Mini Moog, or actually the Poly D. Over here I've got, sorry, just kind of bumming out, not even wearing, you know, normal clothes right now. And I've got the Odyssey right there. I have behind it a Deep Mind, and then over there I have Marshall half stack. It's not a Marshall cab, it's a VHT, but I wanted that for when I was playing clean. And then I got a 2600. I got a pedal board. I have over here Gibson Les Paul. I have a Harley Benton double neck. I got the Jackson Flying V. I got a Epiphone Les Paul, which actually is somewhat more aggressive sounding than the Gibson. I have my Stratocaster, I've got a bass guitar. We're not going to talk about the silver Les Paul at all. So what am I getting into with all this? I am incredibly thankful that I own all of this. I am very grateful that I have a chance to own all of this, because you don't know how hard it was to buy a Sears SG and a Sears jazz bass and play those horrible, horrible, horrible things in bands. An Antares Flying V that, actually from what I'm hearing about the Antares Flying V's, is they're actually pretty good. Just, I desperately needed a setup and I never got a setup, and I just said, this guitar's a piece of junk, and I got rid of his, which I probably shouldn't have done. Never get rid of a guitar. Never get rid of a keyboard. Never get rid of anything. If you buy music stuff, keep it. All right, so let's go ahead and unbox the Xenix mixer. Not know before I ordered the Behringer UM that this thing would be an interface. So I kind of wasted the money on the Behringer UM, but whatever, I have a backup. I've also got my Line 6 guitar port. There's the power cables. User's guide, which you kind of want to read. Rack ears. Oh my goodness, you guys did send me rack ears with this thing, the mixer. I don't need to go through signal process with this, because obviously you plug in here and then you've got a channel strip. So there you go. It's not like I got to explain the signal sourcing, the flow chart. I started to do that with the Odyssey, but of course my ADDT got me all sidetracked and I couldn't remember what I was talking about. So I just kind of dwindled off into nothing and changed the subject. All right, whenever you get Behringer anything, always, 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 always look carefully at these, because sometimes they add little things that are stuck in the sides of these. That's the mixer. Almost everything is up here. USB right there. Main out pits in case I want to send this in. And I've got my alt and control room out. So you can either use this or this to plug into your amplifier. Like I can plug this into my amps, and I can send all of my synths into this one unit now, and just that way I can set it all. Power compressor, I don't need the compressors. Phantom power, you can turn the phantom power on, but I guess the phantom power works for everything. So definitely I'm going to have to read the instruction manual on this one, because this one looks complicated. And then of course the ears attach right to the side, right here, and then you could just fit this into a like 8U rack. So very cool, very exciting. Yeah, this is really good. And of course the K2. So why the K2? Well, the K2 is because, like I said, all those days of looking in the catalogs, and I remember saying to Joe, hey Joe, look at this thing by Korg. It's one of those old, sweet talking about, you don't know anything when you're a kid. You're like, well, I guess you can get any sound in the world from all those ones you plug everything in, because we didn't know the word modular. And so, power supply. And so Joe was like, should I get one of those? He's like, nah, they got all the ones, the way they do it now, you can just plug everything right in. So, there's the ear. There's the other ear. Okay, nothing in that. Good. Now this comes with a ribbon cable. I don't know why. I guess I should find out. This comes with 2 patch cords. Now some people say, I only got 2 patch cords. They sent you patch cords, shut up. Behringer's flirting with the idea of coming out with the Avatar. That was the economic ruin of ARP, and basically it bankrupted them. So they had all kinds of problems with the Avatar. So, including some units would routinely break, and it cost them a lot of money because people would send it in for warranty repairs, and it ended up destroying the company, sadly. But I'm hoping that Behringer does do the Avatar, because I would like a guitar synth. But in the meantime, another reason I got this thing, aside from the fact it's really cool for glitchy and squelchy, so if you were thinking of doing any kind of techno or trance or house or whatever, you got to have one of these. So the 2 Behringer MS keyboards, hopefully they'll come back out with soon, because those MS ones are the ways to sit there and play with synthesis. And I don't have a MIDI thing, so I'm not going to be able to demo this today, unfortunately. You also have a MIDI in on the front. It's your standard 2 oscillator VCO mixer. You've got separate high pass and low pass filters. That's where you can get all your squelchy stuff. Frequency modulation, go right to that and cut off. And then you can choose your waveforms. That's really cool that you can kind of smooth and blend between them. Envelope, and you've got, just like with the, this is set up like an ARP, where you've got a AR and an ADSR at the same time. And then of course you've got your patch bay over here that lets you plug in, and it's got your flow chain right there of how this all works. Flow chart right there. There's a video on how someone used the external signal, so you plug your guitar into an adapter, the adapter goes there, and now you can send this back out into your mixer in here. I'm excited to have it, but I'm not gonna be able to play it right now because I don't have a controller for it. If you get one where it's not put together, no worries. It slides in behind these 2 keeper clips right here. Has a little groove. Slide it on there. Ta-da! Sorry, but I've been sitting here thinking to myself, wow, I was gonna spend $2,000. I was gonna get 4 bags of candy, and I have 1 more synthesizer that is back ordered, and I won't be getting it until about April, and that is the vocoder. I got the Behringer vocoder, the VC340, which, as you know, is the Korg VC300, just a remake of it. Of course, Behringer can't avoid fiddling with things, which is one reason I'd rather have the Behringer stuff, is because they're like, well, we got the money, can we add this to it? And I went, so yeah, let's do it. And I've never heard anyone complain, man, I can't believe you made my mini Moog now like it's MIDI capable, that you've ruined it. No, said no one ever. No one's ever said, well, you added like an extra, you made the 3rd oscillator, have more capability on the 2600. That sucks. Said no one ever. So, all right, there you go. Still haven't finished my coffee. That's the unboxing for now. We'll see you next time. Comment, like, subscribe. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.